Hello, Super Savers. I hope you're having a good week. As requested by many of you, today's video is a step-by-step tutorial on how to buy and sell Treasury bills on the secondary market with Fidelity. Now, many of you who've been with us for a while know that my preference continues to be for buying new issue Treasury bills at auction because in our experience, it's typically the most cost-effective and time-saving way to purchase T-bills, particularly for the average individual investor. Having said that, there are times when it may be necessary and/or convenient to buy treasuries on the secondary market. Check out this video here, which I've linked below, to better understand the 4 primary reasons for buying T-bills on the secondary market, as well as some important considerations and fees associated with doing this. Also, keep in mind as we go through this tutorial that I'm showing you how I do this because I find this way fairly logical and easy to follow. If you do it differently, feel free to drop a note below and share with the rest of our Fidelity T-bill community. I'm assuming that you already have a Fidelity account if you're watching this. So the first thing to do is to log into the account. Here's my account summary page that appears. I'll click on News and Research. And from the drop-down menu, I'll click on Fixed Income, Bonds, and CDs. This will take me to this Fixed Income, Bonds, and CD screen. If I know the CUSIP of the Treasury security I'm searching for, I can enter it here and click Search. That's not how most people do this though. Most folks will look for a specific maturity and/or yield. To do this, I'll scroll down, go to the US Treasury row, and select the maturity I want. I'm going to go with the 3-month in this case, because as some of you who've been with us for quite some time may already know, I have a preference for shorter maturities. Shorter maturities will allow me to keep capturing higher yields as the Fed will most likely continue their rate hikes in 2023. Also, the 6-month is only paying a little bit more than the 3-month in this case. The additional 15 basis point return on a 6-month Treasury is not enough for me to tie my money up for another 3 months. So I'll click on the 3-month here. This Treasury bond search results page appears. I'll scroll down a bit to see more 3-month T-bill options. These dates here show that all these treasuries mature in roughly 3 months from the time of this taping. And as we can see, these search results are sorted from highest yield to worst to lowest yield to worst. Yield to worst essentially shows the most conservative potential rate of return that I can get. For example, if the issuer calls the fixed income security early. And yield to maturity shows the potential rate of return that I can get if I hold to maturity. Treasuries are not callable. That's why the yield to worst column looks identical to the yield to maturity column. Now, let's assume that I don't want the highest yield in this case. Rather, I want this T-bill that matures on March 30th, 2023, say because I need the proceeds close to this exact date to pay for property taxes. I can click on the Buy button, or I can click on the security to learn more, which is what I'll do because I always like to be certain that I'm actually buying what I want to buy. And when I click on the security, this page will appear next. I'll double check that it is a T-bill, that the maturity date is what I want it to be, and that everything else here makes sense. Then I'll click on the Buy button. That will take me to the screen where I can place my trade. I'll choose the account that I want to purchase my T-bill in. Now, let's talk a bit about this information here. This ask price is the price I would pay if I were buying a minimum of $250,000 of T-bills, up to a maximum of $250 million of T-bills. Remember that these quantity numbers are always quoted in thousands. And this is the yield I would be getting if I paid this ask price. This third-party price represents the ask price from other third-party providers, so not from Fidelity. Basically though, these two ask prices and this ask yield are not what I'll be getting because I'm not planning on buying the minimum volume required of $250,000 of T-bills. I'm planning on buying just $1,000 of T-bills for this tutorial. So to find out the ask price that I will be getting if I'm just buying $1,000 of T-bills, I'll click on this depth of book link here. And more quotes will appear down below. Let's scroll down. I'm going to focus on the ask price section because that's the price I'll be paying to buy my T-bills. The bid price is the price I'd get if I were selling my T-bills. What I'm looking for in the ask price section is a 1 in parentheses in this quantity column here. A 1 in parentheses indicates that the minimum purchase quantity is $1,000 of T-bills and the associated price for that purchase quantity. As we can see, all these minimum quantities are still too high for me. So I'll click on View Complete Depth of Book and Recent Trades to see what further options I have. And this comprehensive pricing list appears. Again, focusing on the Ask Price section, we can see that this is sorted first from the lowest price paid to highest price paid, and then by ask yield. Now, I'll go to the quantity column where there is a 1 in the parentheses, where the minimum purchase quantity is $1,000 of T-bills. So these two here. And I'll click on the buy button for this one because it has a very slightly higher yield. This will take me back to my original screen where I can place my trade, but my price will have changed to 98.932 per $100 of T-bill face value purchase instead of this price up here because it's now based on a minimum volume requirement of $1,000 of T-bills, not the $250,000 up here. And here under quantity, I'll put in 1 because one bond here equals $1,000 face value. If I were to put in 1,000 here, it would mean that I'm buying $1 million of T-bills. So we're not going to do that. You should also know that had I just put a 1 in here to start for the $1,000 of this 3-month T-bill that I wanted to buy, this price would have changed automatically on its own based on the purchase quantity that I entered here. You don't have to go through the depth of book exercise I just showed you. I did it to show you that it's available to you if you want to do further research. And also because I typically like to see what the market is like in a particular security before I place the order. Anyway, going back to this screen, these limit price and fill and kill selections, they can't be changed. That's the default for Treasury orders. Now I'll click on Preview Order. And here's the preview order screen that appears next. I'll check all the information on here and here to make sure that everything is correct. And then I'll click Place Order. And here's my order confirmation screen. And that's it, T-bill fans. I just bought this 3-month T-bill in the secondary market. Now that we've walked through how to buy a T-bill in the secondary market, let's go through how to sell one in the secondary market. So let's start again with my account summary page. From here, I'll choose the account that my T-bill is held in. And when the summary screen for that particular account appears, I'll click on Positions. I'll scroll down and we can see that I only have this one T-bill in this account. And if I click on it, these buy, sell buttons will appear. I'll click on the sell button, which will take me to the screen where I can place my trade. This box here shows the account that I want to sell my T-bill from. This bid price is the price I would get if I was selling a minimum of $3 million of T-bills, up to a maximum of $10 million. I only have $1,000 of T-bills to sell though, not millions, unfortunately. And the easiest way for me to see what price I get for my $1,000 face value of T-bills is to type in 1 here in the quantity box. Remember that a 1 here represents $1,000 face value of T-bills. And as you can see, the price changes from 99.703 to 99.700. As in the previous section on how to buy T-bills in the secondary market, I can also click on this link here to see what the other bid quotes look like for different quantities. When I click on this link, these additional quotes will appear below. Since I'm selling my T-bills, I'll focus on the bid prices section. And as we can see, all these bid prices have minimum volume requirements that are significantly higher than the $1,000 of T-bills that I want to sell. So what I'll do now is click here for even more quotes. And this complete depth of book will appear, showing me that for selling a minimum volume of $1,000 of T-bills, this one here, this is the best price that I will get. I'm good to go, so I'll come back to this trading screen from before, scroll down, and check that everything is okay. Remember that limit price and fill and kill options have been preset already. I can't change them. So now I'll click on Preview Order. On the Preview Order screen that appears next, I'll double check everything, including these warnings here. Then I'll scroll down and reconfirm the details down here for accuracy. And if I'm okay with everything, I can go ahead and click Place Order to sell this T-bill. As an FYI, I'm not actually going to sell these T-bills because, well, I just bought them a few days ago and plan on holding to maturity, as I typically do with my Treasury securities. But hey, now you know how the process works if you ever need to sell your T-bills for whatever reason. All right, Fidelity Super Savers, I hope this tutorial has taken some of the stress and anxiety out of buying and selling T-bills on the secondary market for you. Be sure to check out this video here if you want to see how some of the leading brokerage firms rank when it comes to secondary market pricing for T-bills. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, then don't forget to share it with those you care about. And of course, to hit that thumbs up, and see you again soon with a brand new wealth building video for a brand new year.